Welcome to this edition of the Head to Head Podcast. I'm your host, Cam McKinney. This is episode number 51 of the Head to Head Podcast. This edition of the podcast, I'm talking about Kevin Durant's Achilles injury and his decision to play in Game 5 of the NBA Finals against Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. Was that a good decision? Was that Kevin Durant's decision? First off, on that note, this was 100% Kevin Durant's decision to play in this game. The Golden State Warriors could not have put any amount of pressure on him that would have made him play in this basketball game. Come on. There's no way Bob Myers and Steve Kerr could force Kevin Durant to play basketball at this point in time. He is 2 weeks from being a free agent if he opts out. They have no power over him at all. And Draymond Green is not going to guilty Kevin Durant into playing this basketball game. Kevin Durant made this decision because guess what? Kevin Durant, wait for it, cares more about winning basketball games than any amount of money. Yes, I believe this has been proven time and time again by Kevin Durant. Let's go through the timeline of Kevin Durant's history with the Golden State Warriors. Oh yeah, he was with a team before that called the Oklahoma City Thunder and with Russell Westbrook. He took less money the first time to sign with the Golden State Warriors. And each year, he has opted in or out of less money than he could be making to remain a Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant could have been the highest paid player in the history of the NBA by now if he had stayed with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But he left because he wanted to be part of a winning culture that cared about basketball. Kevin Durant's main concern on this earth is basketball. That is something that should be admirable to people, not something that we should question. All year long, the media made it about Kevin Durant's contract when all Kevin Durant did was make it about basketball. And I applaud him for that. Should he have played with a calf injury like that in Game 5? Probably not. My issue with what Kevin Durant did is he went all out when he played in Game 5. He didn't ease himself in, and I just think that's the type of competitor he is. Think about who Kevin Durant admires. Kobe Bryant is one of Kevin Durant's all-time favorite players. This is the type of thing Kobe Bryant would do. Play through the injury and try to win the ring at all costs. And he was doing that for his teammates. He was playing in Game 5 for Steph Curry, for Klay Thompson, for Draymond, and for his coach, Steve Kerr. That is not something that money can get in the way of his relationship with his band of brothers, really. They are brothers. They have been through 2 NBA Finals together at this point, trying to repeat with this guy. The Golden State Warriors are 9-1 when Kevin Durant plays in the NBA Finals. And there's no way Kevin Durant doesn't know that. This was his decision. Whether or not it was the right decision, who knows? Only Kevin Durant knows that. Again, this has altered the entire NBA offseason now in ways that you can't even describe at this point because the Knicks were banking on getting Kevin Durant. The Brooklyn Nets were banking on getting Kevin Durant. The Golden State Warriors were hoping to get a healthy Kevin Durant. Now he is probably going to take a whole year off from basketball due to injury. And his teammate, Klay Thompson, is also going to. So the whole history of the Golden State Warriors has changed. But I want to just talk about Durant for this episode because I think it's so interesting how we're talking about injuries and whether or not you should play and whether or not, because we criticize you for leaving your teams and we criticize you for being all money hungry, and now we're criticizing a guy because he's actually just shutting up and playing basketball. The media has ruined the landscape of basketball for me in a little sense of it. We destroyed Derrick Rose for his injury issues. The way we talk about injuries is just so stupid. It really bothers me. Kevin Durant did this for his team. He didn't do it for money. He's not playing basketball just for the money. Yes, the money is a bonus to him. Yes, he cares about the money. Yes, he needs the money. Kevin Durant has already made $300 million playing basketball. When he played Game 5 of the NBA Finals, his free agency and his bank account were not his biggest concerns. His biggest concerns was trying to repeat like the great teams of the past, like the Magic Johnson Lakers, like the Celtics of the 60s. He was trying to repeat like the Lakers of the 2000s Three-peating matters in that sport. Michael Jordan became an all-time great because he three-peated twice. Why? Kevin Durant is chasing greatness, not his bank. He's already got $300 million in the bank. Money to me and for him is probably not his biggest concern. To think that this entire year the only thing on his mind was free agency is ludicrous. I don't think he's like LeBron in that sense. I don't think he wants the talk of it. This is a guy it's been eating him his decision to even become a Golden State Warrior. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't going to leave the Golden State Warriors. He's literally said nothing on the subject. Yes, he has a close friendship with Kyrie Irving, but he also has a close friendship with, guess who? His teammates on the Golden State Warriors. They have won 2 championships together and were 2 games away from winning a third. This was a basketball decision. Not every decision an athlete makes is about money like the media wants you to think it is. Kevin Durant cares about winning, and that's something that most NBA players care about. Kawhi Leonard cared about winning. It's not all about money to these guys. It's not about the money all the time. And I think this was a real, pure basketball decision. I don't think he was pressured by Bob Myers or Steve Kerr to play in Game 5. He saw an opportunity to come back from 3-1. An historic comeback it would have been, and we would have applauded him for being part of it. This is not something that Charles Barkley saying the Golden State Warriors did Kevin Durant wrong is one of the dumbest sports takes in the history of basketball. It's about winning. Charles Barkley, who's never won an NBA championship, criticizing the Golden State Warriors and Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors, for trying to get Kevin Durant to play. You don't even know that that's what they were doing. Kevin Durant is a grown man who's already made $300 million and wants to be part. I think sports are there for the glory of it all. I think that's why athletes play sports. Kevin Durant wants to be glorified, not because he's rich, but because he's great at basketball. He is not in for it. He's not in the celebrity. He doesn't want to be a celebrity millionaire. He wants to play basketball. And for Charles Barkley to criticize Bob Myers and Steve Kerr for playing Kevin Durant, maybe you can criticize the minutes Kevin Durant played in that game. I think he played 10 of the first 12 minutes. Yes, it was excessive. It was full on Kevin Durant the entire time. And if his calf injury was that bad, then maybe he shouldn't have been playing that many minutes. But this is Game 5 of the NBA Finals. You're down 3-1. You're putting all your chips in that basket, and you're trying to get your 3rd straight NBA championship. I can't say that enough. They were going for the three-peat. That is what basketball dynasties are built on. This is a team that's already won 3 of 4. To win 4 of 5 would have been historic. To win the three-peat is also a huge thing. We still think Kobe and Shaq are legends because they three-peated. That is what basketball is about. The three-peat builds your legacy, not your bank account. Yes, it is sad that this is probably the last we'll see of Kevin Durant at his overall best. He's probably never going to be as good as he was when he got hurt. But I'm guaranteeing this, he is going to make some sort of comeback, and you are going to say, wow, he did it. I believe in Kevin Durant that much that he's going to do that. But I also think he believed in what he was doing was a good cause, and it was his cause. His cause is to win an NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors, not to think about his future with the New York Knicks, not to think about his future with the Brooklyn Nets. He came to the Golden State Warriors to be part of something great, and guess what? He helped turn them into something great. Yes, they had already won a title without him, but they would not have won 2 more without him. They needed Kevin Durant. He needed them. And I don't think that Bob Myers and Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors doctors or whoever should be criticized. The only criticism, again, I can think of is the minutes he played. But I think that's also something that should be applauded on Kevin Durant's side. He went all in. That is what I want from my athletes, to go all in and try to get a championship. If you're a Golden State Warriors fan, you should be applauding the effort of Kevin Durant trying to come back, because he really could have just given up. Think about that narrative. If Kevin Durant just sat out the entire NBA Finals and they lost in 5, is that really something you want to talk about? Like, that's ridiculousness. That's not a good narrative either. Kevin Durant made the right decision, try to go all in, win a third straight championship, and maybe his third straight Finals MVP. That's only been done by, Shaq? The last guy who did that was Shaquille O'Neal. Yes, he wants to be revered like Shaq, not for his money, for his basketball abilities. Most of my athletes to act the way Kevin Durant did when coming back from an injury in a championship scenario. He was supposed to ease himself back into Game 5 of the NBA Finals. This is Kevin Durant. You know who he is. He is a top 2 basketball player. Yes, did he play too many minutes? You could say that. But I think it was a freak Achilles injury that they say has nothing to do with his calf. Do I believe that entirely? Probably not. How could his past injury not have anything to do with this Achilles injury? I believe in that. But I also believe that he looked around and saw a bunch of guys that were hungry for the title and said, you know what, I'm hungry for the title too. And also, we're talking about this. This was in Kevin Durant's best self-interest to get a third championship. It's not all about free agency all the time. It's about the winning. Winning is what matters in sports. It's why they are here to do. They are here to win. And he also saw a guy, DeMarcus Cousins, who had given it all, recovered from his injury, and tried to get him a cup. That would have been a great storyline if DeMarcus Cousins had gotten a championship. How could Kevin Durant not think about that? This is a guy who himself has been criticized for being a non-winner. That's what the Warriors are here to do, to win rings. And Kevin Durant wanted to win another ring. I do not believe he was forced against his will and told bad medical information to try to win. He thought it was a good decision. They thought it was a good decision. It's both of their faults for what happened. But in my opinion, no one should be villainized for what happened. And Charles Barkley's take is ridiculous. The Golden State Warriors gave Kevin Durant some information. He told them, I'm going to play, and he went all in. That is not his fault or their fault. It's sports. They're there to win. And I love Charles Barkley. He's one of the best analysts ever. He's not a winner, though. And for a non-winner to say that, I just think is ridiculous. Because what Kevin Durant's supposed to sit out an entire NBA Finals and let his brothers lose. Come on. That's ridiculous. That's not going to happen, and nor should it have happened. Sometimes freak injuries happen in sports, and it's no one's fault. It is not Kevin Durant's fault, and it's not the Golden State Warriors' fault. They were going to try to win an NBA championship. The highest form that you could be in all of sports is to win rings. It's not to get another $100 million contract and leave your team. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's a bad look for the NBA to be all about free agency all the time. Kevin Durant cared about his team now, and he cared about his teammates who are his brothers right now, and he was trying to win a ring for them and for himself, and he made a choice to play basketball and try to win the game. That is no one's fault, and that should not be villainized, and they should not be villainized. Bob Myers' press conference was pure honesty. He felt terrible in the moment. And for Charles Barkley to go on TV and villainize them all was pure ridiculousness. And it's why Charles Barkley is a TV analyst and not an executive like he said he wants to be. I mean, come on. Bob Myers did not put Kevin Durant in jeopardy. The Golden State Warriors did not put Kevin Durant in jeopardy. No one did. It was a freak injury. It's a freak accident. It's bad. It's changed the entire landscape of free agency, and we don't know where Kevin Durant will do. My guess is Kevin Durant will opt in to his $31 million, rehab with the Golden State Warriors, and maybe rejoin them for the future. Why would Kevin Durant want to leave? I don't really understand that nonsense about why he would want to be a Knick or why he would want to be a Net. Maybe it's just to go out on his own and win without Steph and Clay. I don't care. I don't really care about Kevin Durant's free agency decisions at this point. I care about Kevin Durant, the human being who has been criticized for some of the dumbest things in the history of basketball. He's been criticized for being moody. He's been criticized for leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's been criticized for literally caring about winning. He is one of the last athletes who only cares about winning, and it's maddening that gets criticized again and again and again. The decision to join the Golden State Warriors was the right one, and he did not ruin basketball. In my opinion, they formed one of the greatest teams of all time, and he helped make basketball a beautiful sport to watch again. The passing, the scoring, the everything. They're a team. They're 100% a team. And that is what basketball is about, is 5 guys forming a team. And that team has been brilliant the last 4 out of 5 years. They won championships with Durant and without Durant. And they are one of the best basketball teams of all time. And that is a big thing to do with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the real MVP, in my opinion. He has done everything right. And he has been criticized for playing, for not playing, for taking money, for leaving Oklahoma City Thunder, for leaving money on the table. How dumb have we have gotten as a media landscape for criticizing a guy for leaving money on the table, and who cares about winning? He proved Game 5 against the Raptors. The only thing he literally cares about is trying to win another NBA championship. I'm also going to guarantee, I doubt Kevin Durant regrets the decision. He thinks about it a lot, probably. Obviously, he thinks about what could have been in free agency. Maybe he was going to leave them and join the Knicks. Maybe he was going to leave them and join the Nets. But he did the right thing by trying to win the NBA flipping championship. You really wanted him to sit out the NBA Finals and watch Steph score 47 and lose? That must have been a miserable experience for Kevin Durant to go through. To see his brothers, people he actually cares about. It's not always about thinking about who I'm going to care about next. I'm going to join Kyrie. I'm going to join LeBron. That can be pure nonsense. What about the teammates he actually has? What about the Kevin Looneys who fought injuries through the series? What about the DeMarcus Cousins who have fought back from injuries to play in this series? What about all of them? To just disregard them and think about your next stop would have been pure, utter madness. Kevin Durant made the right decision to play with his team and to try to win the championship. Because again, that's his ultimate goal, to win NBA championships. Where do the Warriors go from here? Who knows? Where does Kevin Durant go through here? Who knows? Their relationship together has been magical from the beginning. I'm sorry. It's been the perfect player to join that team. For a guy like Durant to become unselfish, he's become a better basketball player there. He's become a better scorer there. He's become a better defender there. He has improved his game since becoming a Golden State Warrior. And for him to not be in MVP discussions year after year after year because he's playing with other great players has been another stupid thing that has been brought to him because of this decision to become a Golden State Warrior. And now we are literally saying, some people are saying, Kevin Durant shouldn't have played in that basketball game. Again, he's been criticized for the dumbest things ever. I think sometimes he gets it worse than what LeBron James used to get. I do. I just think it's so stupid. We're criticizing a guy who cares about winning the NBA championship at all costs. That's the way I want my players. Is it bad? Is it tragic what happened to Kevin Durant? Yes. Do I want to see Kevin Durant come back and play for 5 more, 6 more, 7 more, 8 more years? Yes. We all want to see Kevin Durant at his best. But I also want to see the competitor try to win it all. And yes, he went down for it. But it was, I don't know, it was moving to watch. It was. I enjoyed his attempt to try to bring them back into the NBA Finals because guess what? They were 2 games. They went to Game 6. Steph Curry misses a shot. His comeback kind of rejuvenated the team a little bit. Are we going to argue that they got better when he was there and they won that game? Would they have won Game 5 if Kevin Durant had not shown up? The answer to that is absolutely not. They would not have won that game, and they would not have brought it to Game 6 with a chance to bring it to Game 7. They needed Kevin Durant to try to play basketball. Obviously, maybe the calf injury was a little worse than most people suspected when it first happened. I thought he was going to be fine for the NBA Finals. Now this Achilles injury, who knows what's next for Kevin Durant. But again, the overall criticism of the Golden State Warriors is pure madness. This is one of the best run organizations ever. Ever now. Bob Myers is an institution at this point. He's made all the right moves. His medical staff said this guy can play. He said he wanted to play. How can I criticize him when both parties, not him, decided he should play? Himself and the doctors included. I just don't understand Charles Barkley's pure maddening take that Kevin Durant was been wronged by the Golden State. Oh yeah, he's been wronged by the team that helped him win 2 NBA Finals in a row and a chance to win a 3rd one. He's been wronged by them. No, he is not. He has been right by them his entire time. It's one of the best sports markets in the world. It was the last series in Oracle Arena ever, and he wanted to end their run with a chip at home. Just pure madness. Kevin Durant is an all-time great player. He is the real MVP, and I'm hoping him a safe recovery from his injury. But his decision to play in Game 5, I absolutely believe he should have played in that game and tried to come back and win an NBA Finals. Did he come back too quick and too fast? I don't know the answer to that. He played 10 of the first 12 minutes. I thought that was a mistake. But he also scored 11 points real quick and looked like the same old Kevin Durant. He is a legend in my book. And whatever free agent decision Kevin Durant is going to make, he has proven himself to be the ultimate winner and the ultimate warrior. And I could wish him nothing but the best. And basketball fans need to respect this guy more, because he proved it. Game 5 against the Raptors, against Kawhi Leonard, in an unwinnable situation, down 3-1. He proved he is the ultimate winner, and that's all that he cares about. And that is all that matters to him and to that franchise. And to me, that's what made them a great dynasty and what made Kevin Durant one of the all-time greats. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Head Dad Podcast. I'm Cam McKinney. There'll be a new episode of the Head Dad Podcast every Monday on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. Thanks again for listening, and please rate, review, and subscribe. Thanks again.